All right, everybody, welcome to Unstoppable Week number 2. We've got an absolute banger for you. Dorado Gaming Sigma going up against Jay-Z's. Dorado ended up winning last week, so they are 1-0 in our standings, and Jay-Z's is currently, I believe, 0-1. So both
Yes.
these two teams fighting to either go forward up 2-0, and Jay-Z's looking for their first win. How are we feeling tonight?
You first, starter. Mine's
Me
kind of a
first?
long one. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. VCT's back, so I've been
VCT
watching
ready.
that the last few days, catching up on the games that I've missed. Also, LCS is doing pretty well as well. So I'm doing pretty well this week. How about you, DBC?
I'm doing okay. LCK started.
Yep.
Kioshik picked Rammus for the
He did,
first
yeah.
time in 3,700 days.
Did you see Garen?
And Garen was the very first Garen game, too. Like you said, VCT, I'm so happy for VCT to be back. Hooray for 5-hour pauses, by the way, if you watch VCT
seriously.
Pacific.
Oh, yeah. We all love staying up till 5 a.m. as we are in NA. But we're going to go ahead and throw it over to our predictions and see who picked who for tonight.
Oh, they actually started a draft, actually. So,
we did. Oh, yeah. They did.
So
we can do predictions quickly.
Yeah, we did predictions real quick. Okay, we saw it. It's over.
We saw it. There we go.
I'm the only one who picked Jay-Z's. I'm going to be playing devil's advocate. All of you Dorado fans in chat can feel free to say whatever you want. I think Jay-Z's can come out with a win.
Well, there is a reason why I picked Dorado, because historically, and I will say they have always consistently been really good, regardless of which iteration of the team it is. They are like our version of old TSM, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so, they're never bad.
Yes. They're never bad. Yeah. You heard me. I'm talking like 2014, 15, and 16 TSM.
OG.
Double if TSM.
Yeah.
And Wild Turtle back in that time too.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we digress.
Crazy, by the way.
Yeah, who's that third band? And it's blacked out on mine.
So the initial bands from Dorado I like a lot. There's the Ashe first pick. Okay, I'm curious to see what their response to this is. I do like Senna as a counter pick to Ashe. I think we've talked about it before. I know I have. I don't know if it's been here. But Senna's a very strong answer to Ashe and one of the best AD carries on the patch, especially if you're comfortable playing like Seraphine with it. Usually Nautilus gets paired with it a lot, but that is banned away from JSZ. But they're gonna go with Aphelios. With Melio banned, I'm curious to see if they're gonna try to do like a Melio, maybe Renata. They're gonna do Lulu instead, which is a classic pairing. She's not very strong right now, but still one of the better enchanters on the patch.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I mean, you're not going to pick Nami with it. Nami really only works with Lucian right now, more or less. And even then, I mean, just with how abysmal Lucian has been, unless they're in like the hands of literally just Gumayushi, I mean, there's no really one can really play him.
Viper's Lucian's is really good. He's just kind of jailed on Viper Life still.
Yeah, but so Dorado have options here to pick for the next pick. Vi, I was about to say I do like the Vi pick here that guarantees you back on access. Oh, they go Varus. Okay, so they're not behind on the patch, so that's good.
Nope.
I mean, we saw it today in LEC. Ezreal, Ice on Ezreal was absolutely ridiculous, but Poppy's going to be the response. Okay, we're actually pretty decent pick into Vi.
It is and isn't. I mean, Vi Ultimate doesn't get canceled by Poppy W.
Well,
her Q obviously does, so the follow-up CC cannot be layered on top of a Vial, but if you just ult past the Poppy, then it doesn't really matter. Varus Ashe is like one of the 3 lanes you're going to be pairing with Ashe. I do think Ezreal Ashe is a little bit better contextually into Aphelios Lulu, just because it scales a little bit better than Varus. But still, like Varus Ashe is extremely oppressive, and you can just take their tire plates. I'm assuming they're looking to dive early with the Vi as well. They're going to be a Vel'Koz ban, which is a mid lane ban as well.
It's
not something we see. It's not something we see very often. But I mean, target bans are target bans. If someone's good at Vel'Koz, it's not the kind of champ you want to give to someone.
No, absolutely.
And then Singed is one of the bans we see, a Kali ban. I don't think the Akali ban is necessarily needed since you have already picked Poppy and you have a Lulu. I think you can that is something you can definitely leave up. And I do think Talia would have been a much better ban there for them over Akali or like an Azir, some control mage, depending on what Dorado is what you think they're looking to pick in mid.
I almost honestly think they're actually going to maybe give the counter pick over to their mid laner, since their mid laner does have a pretty decent champion pool from what I was seeing before we started. It's just there is a plethora of things they could pick. They might actually drop the last ban here, so they actually do. Okay, interesting. Unless
we'll see if they just are falling asleep at the wheel.
It's a Mordekaiser ban. Okay,
yeah,
so it is a Mordekaiser ban.
not terrible. It kind of hints at them wanting to play some sort of tank. I do think there are better bans than Mordekaiser if you're looking to play something like an Ornn. I do think Camille is extremely strong in the patch. They are going to pick Orianna, which is one of the better mid laners currently and has been for a little while.
Zier's still open if they want to go for
it. Yeah, there's a lot available. They can't pick Nico because she is disabled currently due to a bug.
Yep.
So that is something that we didn't mention because we got into it really quickly. But yeah, Nico is disabled due to a few bugs on the champion.
Yeah, what a surprise!
If you're willing to play Azir, it's not bad here. I do like Talia a lot as well. I think you can potentially go with Sylas, although I don't like that a whole lot.
I wouldn't go Sylas here, no, me personally. Whoa. Diana, yeah, that's one of the champions that Saruman plays. I think it's their top played right now. Yeah, it's their top played champion right now at the moment. So really strong engage with the Vi and the Diana. I think from here you just rounded off with a tank up in the top lane. I mean, got his one trick banned, so you have several options. I mean, you could pick Ornn here. You could pick Sion here as well. I mean, Garen is another option that they might do, but they go for the Gnar instead. Okay, yeah, I was about to say another really good setup tool. Lots of setup, actually. You can either go Gnar alt in, you can Diana alt in, Ashe ulti to start something off. So this is actually pretty disgusting from Dorado in terms of like setup. And then there's the anti-have-fun champion, Malphite, as we've seen. So that will be locked in, which it will be hard for him in the top lane against the Gnar, but until he starts building armor, that won't really matter anymore. And if this is on hit Varus, this should be fine, but
it should be on hit Varus.
Cilantro, let's bring it back with your thoughts.
Okay, I've got a couple of things that I like to analyze and break down here, given these compositions. For starters, we've got a ball delivery system on a Poppy. I think that's going to be absolutely stupid. It's going to be able to shut down the Gnar and the Diana and Vi pretty easily. It's not going to be able to go have that Vault Breaker online. Diana obviously not going to be able to dash to hit those off, so Wombo combo ultimates, and Gnar won't be able to jump either. So he's gonna have to be careful if he gets caught out in mini Gnar form. He's not gonna be able to jump away if a vault delivery system is on you with the steadfast presence. I think the Lulu is a phenomenal pick with the Poppy as well. Just keep her alive while she's one of your main priority front lines. She's still kind of squishy. She's like a tank, but not a tank. So having that Malphite in there as well, also part of the ball delivery system. I think we're going to see some disgusting unstoppable force engages with the Shockwave. I think Jays is a wonderful comp here. Dorado Gaming, though, gotta be wary. Varus does a ton of damage. Like you mentioned, we got the on-hit build here in this, and we got the support Ashe. That obviously could be running Hail of Blades into Imperial Mandate, just not going to be able to run away from her realistically. And then, just can't get caught out from Diana and Gnar engaging off one another with the Vi being the sole tank engage. That's the only thing I'm really worried about with this Dorado composition. Without Mega Gnar, you really don't have a very beefy front line. They could opt for a tank Diana build, but then you're really down a lot of AP damage. So it's going to be realistically up to Vi and making sure you have that Mega Gnar online in order to have a front line. And Aphelios, really strong this season. He can do a lot of damage. And that's where, if I'm Dorado, I'm starting to get scared.
Actually that leads me to this next point, which makes me wonder if we're going to see a lot of mid lane attention in particular, because you want this Diana ahead, especially into an Orianna who is going to be looking to fast towards that 6, since it is a melee versus range matchup. So I'm kind of thinking and maybe hoping that Dorado prioritizes a mid lane priority for this game in particular. Varus Ashe will be fine on their own. You don't really need to worry about Gnar for the first few levels anyways, and really when Malphite starts stacking armor, then you need to start worrying about it. But for now, I kind of am hoping that they path mid here, abuse the Orianna when she's flashless, because she is a very immobile mage. She is a glass cannon as well. So I'm fully hoping and expecting, as I say for the third time now, because if they're listening, I'm just saying, mid lane attention. And Jay-Z will have to keep that in mind, and maybe make sure that have the proper coverage in the river and whatnot. Even though mid lane is harder to gank now, it's still pretty easy to get caught out in really awkward positions.
I think my only contention point with focusing around mid lane is you're playing Varus Ashe. And we see this a lot with pushing bot lanes, is they need jungle hover to actually play properly. Whether you're playing Varus Ashe, Caitlyn Ashe, Caitlyn Senna, Kate Lux, Ezreal Ashe, your entire job, Ezreal Karma, Varus Karma, it goes on. Your entire purpose in that lane is to be underneath their tower, taking tower plates and absolutely abusing them, so you can make use of the early game power that you have with a double AD carry bot lane. So I do think, and we see it all the time in in pro play, where the jungle will use their pathing to hover bot lane on pushouts so they can actually play under tower and look for tower dives if they are winning trades, which they should be early on, and they should have push power for a lot of this game. So if you're focusing too much around mid, you can leave this bot lane extremely variable. They're two dashless AD carries against Lulu Poppy, and it's a very gankable lane if they are playing with as much prio as they should be. So I would like to see at least a lot of attention on the bottom half of the map and playing mid through to bot lane and bringing this Diana down with you and making 4-man plays around bot lane rather than just playing for that 2-man mid lane play to start to snowball this Diana and actually get your bot lane ahead with that, because they do need to snowball in order to make use of this comp. We see this style all the time. Obviously, Diana doesn't get picked very often and it's very niche. I don't necessarily love it after seeing Poppy be picked, because it's very hard for a Diana to find those engages when there's Poppy, Orianna, and Malphite and a Lulu on the enemy team. There's a lot of things that can stop you from getting into that backline and getting those massive wombo ults off. Same thing with the Gnar ultimate as well. There's not a lot of easy ways for him to get in, and if Malphite just ults past you onto both your AD carries, even if he's full tank, he's one-shotting both of them. So I think that's the problem with Dorado's comp. I kind of agree with Solange that it's like it looks easy to execute, but contextually it's not, just because there's so many different ways that your engage gets stopped, and it's not reliable engage when there's a Poppy in the game apart from a Vi ultimate. And then Aphelios is a massively strong hyper carry at like 3 items.
This is why I like casting with you. You say what I say, but way better. All right. So moving on from there, as we are going into Spectale, let's go ahead and get those Drake predictions and send it off. All right. So as the current loser of all of it, I'm just going to say it's going to be Cloud Soul. So there we go.
You're really trying to get the win already. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Hextech.
Okay. I'm gonna. You know what? There's a Lulu on the field. So, and I'm gonna go Ocean.
Okay. I like it. No, I like that one.
It's very good for JSZ because they're playing against Varus Ashe. Ocean would do a lot of work. I do hope it's not poke Varus, but it does do a lot for them.
Yes, absolutely. But that'll do it for us. We're going to sneak away a little bit for the next minute, but we'll be right back for game 1 between these two teams. Don't go anywhere.
All right, everybody, welcome. We are on the Rift now, and what a banger we have.
Oh, you've been saved.
Jesus Christ, you absolutely just ASMR'd my eardrums.
Partially. I'm wrong. It's Hextech Drake first. No soul for me. I would expect a 5-point from both of these teams, which is what they are doing. It is Hail of Blades Varus. I hope it's not Poke Varus. It should be on hit Varus. There's a lot of front line for him to chew through.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lot of sustained DPS without it.
Same, and Ashe also has Hail of Blades too, but she's not really going to be like aiming to do deeps. She's really aiming to just perma-slow people and just not exactly like full-on CC, but just make it impossible to disengage from them, which what makes Ashe Varus so disgusting to deal with. Looks like junglers are not going to trade vision, which normally that's what we do see, so we're just classically standing around waiting for these minions to spawn. This either is going to be a really explosive early game or an intensely slow one, and I'm kind of hoping for the former.
Right, as we might get a little cheeky invade. It is spotted out.
Forced to flash already.
Flash on the blue, though. That's incredibly good for this.
They could start blue here. We'll see if they do.
They will. They won't be spotted. I think that ward doesn't see them.
They shouldn't need to leash.
Oh yeah, there we go. But they're gonna actually go ahead and leash that off.
I don't like this. I don't like them leashing. Vi's guaranteed to get this blue buff because Poppy's already she's already not here. You have vision over the wall. She's not trying to steal away from you. So they lose bot push for doing this.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, Aphelios didn't really do anything about it, which is they kind of got saved there. But Hook and Good already taking a bunch of damage, and they actually do still get wave push, which is completely illegal. Because if Aphelios Lulu prioritized wave there like hardcore, they could have got level 2 advantage, and it's really bad for Glacial and hooking.
Level 2 here in the mid lane does get hit, and Diana will use, I believe, the EQ, if I'm correct. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Yes, they use the dash, the Qs, the crescent, whatever, the moon thingy, the crescent.
Moon thingy,
ability. Yeah. The thing that marks them and does a lot of damage that you can dash to and reset your E.
I'm actually surprised to remember that. Oh, there's your favorite ability, and it will spot out the Poppy as well.
I hate a hawk shot. It is the most broken ability in the game.
That's also free. Actually, a lot of trading here.
Speaking of broken, Ashe Varus might be broken here.
He dies.
First blood, Glacial finding that one in the bot side. I mean, when you're going up against 2 archers, what can you really do?
Yeah, you're going against double range, double hail of blades, burns heal, still not enough. They not only did they not get level 2 first, Aphelios is still level 1, and he loses a 2.5 stacked wave, only has 5 CS, already down 12, and he'll miss most of that wave. About half of it, so he'll maybe be at 10 CS when he gets back. So that's already a massive gold lead in this bot lane. And that's this is why you play Varus Ashe. This is what I'm saying. You just push and be under their tower and be annoying.
Yeah, that's exactly what you had mentioned. Oh, wait, Diana gonna get Electrocute trade. Will be saved by the level 4. Electrocute is my preference of what runes I would hope to see on Diana, especially into an arguably more squishier comp. I say that with arguably because Puppy and Malphite won't be, but the other 3 will, so you can almost guaranteed to one-shot the 3 of them, because if any of the 3 of them, or 2 of them specifically, their carries die, the fight's already over before it starts. We got a lot of movement here, though, in the mid-river.
It's gonna be a devastating gank here. Esset has roamed up.
They're gonna go for it. Yeah, there it is.
The Diana, she flashes for Holy Leaf, had to burn the flash as well, but they might be able to punish as the Diana. It does actually have the flash on. Will they be able to leave the steadfast presence? Not able to knock him to the wall just yet. And she flashes over the wall. Saruman gets away with murder.
He knows how to do the E reset thing.
Yeah, I was shocked. Wow. Okay, so
because he dashed while his Q was in flight. Where if you time that correctly, you still get the mark off before your dash lands and reset the E.
Yeah, reset it, yeah.
Yeah, it's really clean.
Yeah, as a result, it's Holy Leaf is forced to flash, and Saruman doesn't have to respond with their own, because they just follow it with the E reset, so really well done. And I guess we're getting an extreme early game, because Dorado is already up 1,500 gold.
So bad. Oh, I'm cringing looking at this bot wave. Also, Vi is down here as well in the bot lane.
Oh no! When did that start happening?
Not able to find. Oh, that was a massive piercing arrow landing onto Esset. Not able to get much damage yet, but they have wave priority and health bar priority right now for the first dragon that should be spawning here. Now, which do you two think that each team will be prioritizing? You know, we got the Void Grubs versus Dragon debate. Let's duke it out. Who's going for what this game?
You want Void Grubs?
Yeah, I think Dorado specifically wants them. I mean, you have double range. You really want to. You have so much siege potential with them.
Meanwhile, we're fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, the flash out of Glacial. One more piercing arrow is going to be able to help find that off the scatters. Looking to maybe get one onto Jizek, but not able to find him either. But damn, this Varus Ashe is absolutely devastating right now.
No flash on Lulu.
I don't think he needed to flash there. It guarantees the kill and makes the Q way easier to hit because it's not max range. So I respect the flash. Just flash to take the kill. I will say though, like earlier on, you'll notice that Jack doesn't have flash because when Vi showed up, he just instantly flashed away.
Man. No flash this time around. The Shockwave is going to be able to help solidify that kill. But in the meantime, they should be able to at least trade out for the dragon here.
There's no way EOS does this, right? Okay, I was literally about to say. Okay, and that's why you pick Ashe support sometimes, because they can't run away unless they have a teammate there. So there's that. But circling back to that mid lane play, Saruman did not have flash crucially from that play from earlier. Knowing this, EOS goes for the play, makes the play, gives the kill over to the Orianna, brings the mid lane back to a semi-even state. Actually slightly ahead, if my knowledge is correct. I don't think I've got counter plays. Wait a minute, level 6 here. As thought we were fighting, but Milk Tray and Crimson King decide not to do that.
You know,
you were so close, Crimson King, to having a great name.
Even though Saruman, even though Saruman got that initial solo kill, him not using TP put him at an XP disadvantage.
Yeah.
So, like Holy Leaf was 6 before Saruman was in that fight, so Saruman couldn't ult to try and turn that. He just died. It would have been a lot closer had he had been 6. I don't think he wins, but maybe he gets a trade kill. I think it's a lot closer. Does burn TP there to get back in a wave. CS will be slightly in their favor. They are going for grubs, like I thought they might. After getting the Drake as well.
Oh, never mind.
No,
I thought they were going to do
this mid push.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do the strat where they just take one for the time being and leave them. I thought that's what they were going for, because the way Shade Slayer kind of half topside kind of made me think. Oh, they are going to do it. Okay, so this is interesting. So, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of a weird strat that like teams have kind of picked up just to guarantee the one Void Grub for the true damage on the towers, but then they leave the other 3 to delay it long enough to where the next spawn doesn't happen, so that way instead Rift Herald spawns.
Does Ashe have Hawkshot?
She should. No,
yeah, she did. Yeah. So what I'm curious as to why they didn't commit for that. If Ashe Hawkshotted bot jungle, they see Poppy on Grump, and they could have just taken all 3. I don't know where she used Hawkshot, or if they potentially didn't see Eos in the bot lane, but that they could have easily gotten all 3 there.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I'm curious to see why they only went for 1, but either way, they get one of them.
Yeah, so typically that's the play: is get 1, leave the rest till later, take them, so that way you delay the spawn of the second set if it happens at all. But, I mean, if that's not the play they were going for, and like you mentioned, they didn't know where Poppy was, it's very interesting, so...
Yeah, also, like, their bot lane was on reset, so they might have not known where bot lane was, which is also, again, why I'm confused as to, like, what Ashe Hawkshot was used for, because if they used that, they might dive bot lane here, actually.
Never mind, they're going to dive bot lane
here.
They
should, yeah. They have 6 advantage.
Oh, this is gonna hurt in a second. Oh, they cleared the wave, so no, they don't anymore.
They can do it on 1 wave.
They can push this, and this is why I hate this extra bush in the bot lane in particular, because your jungler can just sit there at any point, and they're not even anticipating this play at all. We're just gonna fight here.
Frozen Arrow actually does go wide, but the Chains of Corruption do land in the season. This is then just for a little bit more clear, but Glacial into Polyboy, and that's a shutdown on Jizik. That's actually massive.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. I actually kind of shocked about that. I mean, but I guess this
that wasn't tanking, right? So it's
no, because Ashe started tanking, and then Ashe stopped taking it, went immediately to Varus afterwards.
Yeah, I think Ashe has to tank 1 extra with barrier, and then none of them die.
Oh no! Okay.
1 grub should get both.
I thought he was about to lose one.
No, yeah. I mean, he could have lost that one. He's happy that he doesn't. But even though that shutdown goes over, it doesn't really matter. Like, Aphelios is still up 35 CS, 3 shared tower plates, and 2 kills.
Oh,
the shutdown makes it a little bit more even, but it's still not the best situation down there.
Mm-hmm. As Eos was in the mid lane here for just a slight moment to kind of draw Saruman off the wave. But, if we take over to the gold for a second, I imagine, Oh, wait, never mind. We're fighting in mid lane first.
Interesting decision to use the Moonfall there onto Holy Leaf. Now you have to burn your flash because the Shockwave ended up chunking you down. Eos trying to help filling up that pick. I guess he just did not see the Poppy in the area, but even then, you are going up against a Lost Chapter Orianna at this moment. I don't think you nearly have enough burst damage to kill her.
I mean, if his E, so his E got pulled in from the Shockwave because it's not technically fast enough to get out of it. I think he thought he would get out of it in time, but he doesn't.
Oh, they know.
He's seen by Aeus. Holy Leaf moving down as well.
Caught out as set. Force the flash of the ball. The force of the arrow is going to end up missing. A nice knock up onto the Vise. The Chains of Corruption is going to
Oh my god, that damage.
In response to the Moonlight Vigil, he flashes forward, but ends up falling. Glacial able to find that one, but now it's a 3v2. Get out with what you got if you are Dorado Gaming.
Alright, so in the way of this context, do you think they probably went this route because they ended up being so far ahead?
Well, I mean, he has Hail Blade, so they planned on doing it anyways. I think with double ranged, it's fine going Poke Varus. It's my only problem with it in this game is the Malphite, like who's killing him.
Right.
Because as it stands, nobody will be able to kill him at a certain point in the game. Like the Poke Varus, we know how much damage that does, and it absolutely annihilates squishies. We just saw it. One W empowered Q took 3/4 of Jizzix's HP with just a Yomu's Ghost Blade and a tier, and that's one item Poke Varus, and later on it'll be literally a one-shot given how ahead they are.
Another Moonlight Vigil.
Yeah, that's what he tried to do the first time.
I guess they're just trading these ultimates back and forth onto each other. Maybe looking for an angle for Shadeslayer to come in for the cleanup, but unable to find that.
I'm just gonna go ahead and flex real quick that I was right because I went for the guaranteed win. It's a Cloud Soul.
Yeah. What can
had to grief the system a little bit to get the dub.
Womp womp, womp womp.
Yeah, you need to cheese a little win there. It is what it is. Can't lose them all, you know.
Yeah, can't lose them all. Nah, I had to get my W, but we haven't actually talked about the top lane too much. Matchup is going pretty much exactly as expected, as I will say. Malphite naturally behind in CS. They haven't really participated because they've been TPing the lane back and forth. I think Crimson Kings...
14 minutes yet, so...
I think Crimson King's TP will be up for this Drake, so maybe we'll get a 5v5 here at this incoming Cloud Drake in the next 4 minutes, because this will be soul point if they go for it. And Dorado, actually, I will say, have pretty much almost sole control, minus the grubs, of every objective on the map so far, getting both Drakes. Initially starting the grubs, but then stopping them because, probably didn't know where Poppy was. We might be setting up for a play here on the top side, unless Crimson King was just going to the plate and now going to leave. Poppy will we're reading pings actually in the river, so they might know that she's in the area.
Yeah, they want the grubs. The grub spawn is in a few seconds here, and I'm surprised that Ashe is bot lane. We see Lulu moving over at least partially. I think she might go back down bot lane now, seeing that both of them are down here. This tower is dead anyways. Aphelios has to play underneath this tier 2, because if he walks up that way, he will just get dove, as both of them have their ults up. Yep. I would have liked to see Ashe come up a little earlier, like a base a little earlier, and be on her way up now rather than just walking through river, given the gold they just got.
There's an Ashe arrow coming.
I won't do anything. If it hit a Holy Leaf, it does something, but it's Lulu instead.
But they have to stop this. She needs all three, so they only really need to take one in order for this to work out. And then walking into the area, having more prio means that they can just take these if they really want. Yeah, no, there's now at this point trying to get 5 is moot because you lost one, so they're giving them up, and the Rift Herald will spawn. So 2-2 in terms of the Void Grubs, and that is. Oh wait, we're flashing here. Oh, that flash
is traded back. Oh, the Shockwave was committed too. I think lots of these ults are just flying left, right, and center during this game, honestly.
Yeah, I'm actually a fan of how Saruman's using his ult, because he's just using it entirely for wave prio. He just doesn't really care about using it for anything else, because they haven't been fighting around mid lane. So he's just using it to get pressure in mid lane. Holy Leaf is using his to actually trade back, so then he negates that pressure that Saruman's trying to create, which is why they're trading ults. Now, in that situation, I don't think Holy Leaf should have used his Shockwave there, because you just saw Varus flash and use chains, so you can easily hold Shockwave for the next team fight at this dragon, which Varus won't have flash for, and then you'll be able to do that. But his Shockwave will be up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's really it. If you were going to look for a potential play around him in the next 5 minutes, it's maybe you have an extra window or two.
Ooh, ended up stealing the Gromp away. Holy Leaf. Playing this matchup actually really well, I will say, not being down too much. Arrow.
Ends up going In combination with Moonfall off the cease and desist, though, will Shadeslayer be able to get out with their life, though? Has to burn the flash.
Respect flash.
EOS looking for it, is going to ult away the Diana, and not going to be able to find any kills there, trying to trade off something on the Poppy.
Okay. I was legit about to actually comment that we were cresting over the 15-minute mark in the game, but Shadeslayer and Saruman decided to go for the play onto the flashless Orianna, mind you. Still doesn't have flash. So that's why they decided to commit for that play, kind of, keep her down more. She doesn't have a completed item yet at 15.5 minutes, and we have officially crested into the mid-game. And right now at this position, Dorado are up just over 4,000 gold, 7-3, 2 Drakes, maybe even a third here in the next 45 seconds. And they completely negated the Void Grubs as well, so the pushing power will be much slower than JZ were actually hoping for.
Yeah, it's neither one of them got to 3 grubs, which doesn't really matter too much, but it is a pretty nice spike. That was a really good punishment in that bot lane play off Holy Leafs both. Now she shoots Shockwave again, fighting Saruman in bot jungle there with Eos.
Interesting. Oh, he's
Eos
dead.
will get the kill, yeah. So Holy Leaf barely gets out with his life. Didn't have flash. Saruman had flash, didn't decide to use it. Instead, dies right before Dragon in 10 seconds. That should go over to JSZ.
Maybe.
Meanwhile, I would assume that Dorado just pressure for this tier 1 mid tower.
I actually don't think they go for this because Aphelios is being pressured off the tower. He's really the one who's going to melt through this Drake. Actually, they're going in on Lulu.
Frozen arrow comes down, Shadeslayer gets the Vault Breaker, he gets polymorphed, it gets absolutely obliterated as Holy Leaf it came back with that Luden's Companion online.
That was
they
free.
do get the mid tower off. They get the mid tower out of that.
Yeah, they get the mid
TP.
tower, but the commitment there for the dive is just
Aphelios had the flash.
to put it bluntly, just not a great idea, just because of how Lulu can just make him live that long enough. You know that they're all down there except for Malphite. Now who is down here after TPing? I don't even think he needed to commit TP. Will lose top lane tank to run tower as a consequence. Saruman gets ulted, but the Malphite ult actually misses. He ults the ground. So that's the unstoppable force used there. Now ping's coming onto the Rift Herald should be free. Because there is no Malphite ult, no Shockwave, and I mean the Keeper's Verdict will be up soon, but no flash on Poppy, should be no contest as well. I'm surprised Shadeslayer is electing to go Wolves instead of Herald.
Yeah, I mean, but at this point they just need to just hold on to it for a little while. Probably hold on to it till Baron's up. And please. All right, there we go.
It's like, who are you trying to give it to?
But I think it's not even really going to be for much at this point because all the tier 1s have fallen. It's just going to be a pressure herald for something like
side lane.
Yeah, I was thinking either top lane or sending it with Diana. It's most likely going to go with Narm more likely than her. I think when she finishes her Nashers later, then maybe she'll start splitting. But for now, she's kind of just in 2 minutes.
You can send Nar bot lane, Diana mid, send your bot lane top, and drop Herald with that. And since Varus has it, he just drops Herald, and they pressure for tier 2 top lane tower because they do have the damage to do Baron. As much as it's not an on-hit Varus, they're head and gold to be able to do so. I don't know if that's what they'll elect to do with it. They might just do the boring play and take the mid lane tier 2, which I think is probably the worst case scenario. Or they just play hardcore around this bot lane and take bot lane tier 2, assuming that they don't think they have the damage for it.
No, yeah, 100%.
Baron, I mean.
Yeah. Looks like we're actually going to be collapsing it on the jungle here. Poppy might be out of position. Oh, there goes the ult.
The chains go extremely wide. The Vault Breaker into the Cease and Desist, though. That's going to help you land a Frozen Arrow. The CC combo on this team is just too drastic. Sarah, I'm able to pick up that one.
I actually want to know your thoughts, Starter, because you were kind of advocating against that play.
Yeah, like, the thing is they're kind of in an awkward spot now. They are going to use Herald. They should be able to get 1 tower, and they get the crash on the inhib tower, but they lose mid-tier 1 for this. And they're not able to do anything, and you're just letting Aphelios free farm on mid lane.
Oh, he doesn't get it.
Yeah, the tower is so low. Like, if you ever drop a mid wave, that thing's just dead, and that is an objective bounty. Now, it's not a lot of gold, and they do, like I said, get the bot lane tier 2, but that's it. That's all they end up getting off that play, and then a kill onto Poppy. I'm not sure if it was a shutdown or not. I didn't quite see, but...
I don't think so. Oh, shoot. I don't think it said.
And yes, he's up 3k gold, so he might have gotten a small shutdown, like a 50 gold shutdown, or a 100 gold shutdown. It just wasn't displayed, because she was 2-0 before that. It's not as big of a swing had they have set up more than just kind of like throwing themselves at Poppy, because the Varus ultimate missed, and the only reason they were able to get a kill is because the Ashe ult hit. But yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, good job bringing the flash there, I would say. That's something that's actually going to be crucial for this next objective fight. Him not having flash, whether it's a Baron fight, Baron turn, or a Dragon fight that's coming up in the next 2 minutes. You'll take that, actually. I mean, sure, you burned the Malphite ultimate, but that'll be up shortly anyway. Or not shortly, but like in the next like maybe 60 seconds. So that'll be ready for this next fight. So I actually like that call. He was backing on a ward, so something that Milk will have to keep in mind.
Why does he have a 250 gold shutdown?
Farm, I think solely, and he's been pressuring towers the whole game.
I guess he's up like a decent amount, but him having the same shutdown as Varus just seems wrong to me.
Yeah, that actually does. Looks like we're gonna try to get a little bit of pressure here in this mid lane. Dorado just gonna keep these waves pushed in. We're not really gonna get anything to happen, I think, for the next honestly, until someone decides to either try to sneak a Baron or 100% this next Drake fight in the next minute 15. So we're in a little bit of a lull, I will say, at the moment.
I think they should just bring this Varus Ashe up top to try and get this side lane tower. Because just twiddling their thumbs, I don't like this.
Well, they are committing to this. The Lulu ult does not stop you. This CC on the side. Dorado Gaming is just too much. EOS going forward, trying and help push this team back, deny them this mid lane turret. But now they're just going to take this.
Do something here. Yep, there it is.
Oh, a nice Moonfall engage, and Hooking Good is going forward even more, trying to slow down EOS to find that pick. But now, honestly, they can just turn around, go for the dragon. It should realistically be free here.
Yeah, I mean, Orianna will have TP by the time she's up and when Drake spawns in the next 27 seconds. I don't anticipate that at this point JZs feel like they can contest. They should, I guess, but I mean, you
have to give.
Either you give it, or I guess you try to sneak Baron. Your Felius doesn't have 2 items yet, so that could be the reason I could see not doing it. And they don't really have vision on that side of the map either. The second, actually, let's go up to the top side and like change the vision. They actually like see nothing on this side of the map. It's entirely Dorado vision, just except that one little ward that I saw. Like they see nothing anywhere on the map because they can't go anywhere, and it's just an unfortunate position to be in. But they do have positioning for this Drake. It looks like Poppy will start it.
No flash, Diana, no flash.
Yep. So this could be interesting, unless they just go to kill the Malphite here.
He's dead.
That's definitely going to end up happening. Milk Draw, and that was a shockwave to pull that Gnar back away. That's a crucial ultimate on. Cease and desist. I believe that lands onto the Orianna, and the nice engage from Milk Draw is going to be able to shove them back into the wall, and all of the members of JZs are just falling left, right, and center. And now, I mean, you could go get the dragon, but you could also run it down mid and take an inhibitor here as well.
I think they just go Baron, push out top wave, and then go take top inhib. I think mid inhib is the worst inhib to take first.
Okay.
Just because it doesn't allow you to pressure the opposite side of the map with it. Because if you have super waves on side lane, you can pressure the opposite side of the map from that super minion wave. Then it gives you a lot more time from people moving from catching that wave that's going to be pushing the entire time that it's up. And I do like that they're leaving Saruman back down, taking Drake by himself, because they don't need all 5 of them on Baron. You just nearly aced them.
Yeah.
So yeah, both objectives are free. They do get both of them. And I mean, bot lane inhib is easy to take, but I like that they're pinging top wave, because the last easy objective is top lane tier 2, and it's a lot of standing gold that you have still yet to take, and some of the only standing gold you have left on the map. So they should just go top 4-1, top down to mid, and then try to take a top inhib with this Baron.
Well, it looks like they're actually going to go 1-3-1 based off what I'm seeing.
Tough. I mean, they're ahead enough to do it, but their waves are not really synced.
They're not really, no. No, it's slightly behind, yeah. But mid is now starting to push. They should. I do hope they go with your call and go 4-1. They are pinging the top tower right now, so looks like they are going to commit to the 1-3-1 after all, which is very interesting. I say. I mean, they
need mid push. I think they need to wait one more wave on top wave. They should push mid wave and then move up through top jungle with vision, because you can't just drop top wave.
Milk is soloing Holly.
Why are they giving mid so hard?
I don't know.
Even if no dies, it doesn't matter.
Oh, Poppy's here, but it looks like Poppy's gonna go in with the standing charge, and actually we're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, they just gave mid tower for that, and then they're gonna lose top tower probably as well. Maybe mid inhib if they decide to commit for it.
No, unless his arrow hits. Oh, no, never mind. The cleanse will be
That's
burned.
flash and cleanse.
Yep. So both summoners down onto Jizak. Not really favoring. So they do take mid inhibitor. They're also going to break open bot lane inhibitor. And Diana is setting top wave to push into this tower.
Yeah,
Corruption will go wide.
Yeah, they were ready to move towards top lane, and then they just 4-manned Gnar for no reason. Because he never dies there. He has flash, it's a Gnar. And then, so they just completely gave up their defense on mid lane, so they take a free mid inhibitor, they take bot tower, Diana's now crashing a wave into top tower. It's very easy to kill. You see Varus shadowing towards top lane. They should get all 3 inhibs, at least all 3 inhib towers, and bot inhib, which Gnar is looking to pressure right now. It should be dead. Yeah, it is.
They're trying to fight. They might try to fight right now.
Crimson is absolutely getting bursted. The Unstoppable Force not going to save you this time around, and neither will Lulu. And that is a nice flash forward to find the season assist onto Jizak. Essa is the next one to fall. And with the Baron buff online, you guys mentioned they've taken the game purely. They took all the inhibitors, basically. And now it's just EOS and Holy Leaf left standing to defend these 2 Nexus turrets. Ball's going to be able to bring him in and burst him down. Glacial Hooking God, you know, you got 2 ADCs autoing turrets. They're not going to live much longer. And neither are Jay's chances of winning this map. Dorado Gaming will go up 1-0 so far in our best of 3 series.
15,000 gold lead at the end of the game. I mean, they just played to their advantages and just kept accelerating them. Varus went 7-1. Sourman went 5-2, and then Ashe had 12 assists. So they just had so much gold exactly where they had gold exactly where they needed it. That's what I'm trying to say. So good on them for that one in game 1. Dorado up 1-0 in the series, and I did pretty much what we always see from them. So I mean. Not too much is due from what we see from Dorado.
I think that game should have gone on a little bit longer than that. I mean, like, not too much longer. It was kind of an inevitability given the gold lead and the champions that they were playing. When you have that kind of comp and you're snowballing, it's like that hard. It's kind of hard to lose unless you just throw a couple times. But yeah, like I was very confused to JSZ's plan there for the countering that Baron. They just kind of tunnel visioned on Gnar, say, hey, he has a bounty, we have to go kill him, otherwise he's going to take our bot lane, not realizing that they give up on two lanes completely, and then they lose mid. You have 280 carries pushing down mid lane, completely drop that wave, overcommit onto Gnar, don't even get his flash, then lose mid inhib, lose both summoners on your 80 carry, then they can just get a free bot inhib as well. Top lane is just getting solo pushed because now your top laner has to move down, and then they can just force a fight with their wallets and ace them and then take their nexus. So a little bit of a mistake there, and there's a couple other mistakes as well. But I mean, their comp they executed it to exactly what you're supposed to. I mean, we saw it. They have a pushing bot lane. Vi comes down, and you just dive them on repeat. And if a Varus Ashe gets that fed, they're just gonna win.
No, you were 100% right. They did exactly what you said.
Yeah, they just dive them on repeat. If you're playing pushing bot lane, it's such an easy lane to dive, especially when you have 2 high impact hard CC ultimates that you can layer with a Vi ultimate down there against an Aphelios Lulu. One of them, at the very least, is getting one shot whenever you dive them.
Yeah, but I guess you have anything, Cilantro?
Nope. All right. Pretty fast game, actually.
Yeah, 26 minutes.
26 minutes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Really well done on them. But that'll do it for game 1. Dorado up 1-0 in the series. Can JZ bring it back in game 2? They have some adjustments to make, and I hope they can do them. See you later.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Risen Esports, Dorado Gaming Signet versus Jay-Z. The sides are the same. Welcome to Game 2. The bands might not be the same. That's the thing. Actually, so far, yes, they are. Well, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit in that short break we had. I would like to see them drop the Urgot ban, at least for first phase. Now, Dorado Gaming's top laner plays a ton of Urgot.
Never mind.
Well, I understand why they're banning it. I just don't think top lane bans in first rotation are necessary. I would have liked them to drop it and ban both Varus and Ashe if you're looking to play a scaling bot lane, because they can still be one Varus. And if you don't pick Ezreal Karma or like Senna Seraphine or Seraphine TK into it, you are still susceptible of having the exact same thing happen to you, and there's the first pick Varus. They could answer with Kalista if Jayzak can play it, and if they're comfortable playing like Kalista Renata, I think is fairly good into Varus. Again, they can play Senna TK. They could play Ezreal Karma. I'm not a huge fan of that though, but they have a lot of options here.
Yeah, I'm 100% agreeing with you. I kind of think for whatever reason they're probably not going to pick their bot lane right here, unless I'm completely wrong. So never mind. So there's Senna. Now one of your combinations they went Senna TK. All right, so Darter
did
happy. That's all that matters. Darter is happy. So now you kind of see what you're expecting here on the side of Dorado. It kind of makes the matchup a lot harder. I mean, you could still pick a really good engage support or a really good
you go like Vi Karma, I think, here, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Or even Talia, but I would argue Talia Vi here too.
Yeah.
I think that would be really nice. But
Talia's very good into TK. I think they are going to go Nautilus, though. I do like that contextually against Tahm Kench, because if you hook him, it's not bad. Then Viego's an interesting one. We've been seeing it prop up more and more. I do think it's pretty sleeper. I think it's actually quite good, especially if you have the setup for it. We'll see if Dorado end up going with the classic pairing with Alessandra. I would like to see JSE grab their jungler. I think Vi is pretty good for them. They can go Lee Sin as well, but it's not as good. They could go Jarvan also. I think Jarvan and Viego is kind of hard, but they are going to go Vi. I do like that.
Okay.
And then I think you just ban top laners here.
Top laners.
I like the Singed ban because that's kind of a game wrecker champion, and the fact that he just completely warps how you play the game. So I like keeping that ban, seeing as Dorado's top laner plays a lot of it. And now with this draft, I am fine with this Akali ban. Akali's not great against Vi TK. And if they pick Talia on 4, it's not great either. But if you're not comfortable playing that combination, then Akali ban's pretty fine, seeing as the other mid lanes that you would like to play with this are pretty weak into it.
Interesting.
Yeah, Malphite ban makes a lot of sense as well. You don't have you're not assuming you're gonna win every game like that last one, and Malphite is a very strong champion. They're gonna ban Diana though. I do like that adaptation, but again, we'll see if they pick Singed. It's not good in this game for Dorado, but still, it's one of those game warping champions.
Yeah, because you have to pick something that goes to pretty much does the same exact thing he does.
Blind pick mid here.
Blind pick mid. I think save your counter pick for top lane.
Yeah.
If they do pick the Singed, like you're saying, I think the only other champion you can really play into it is Udyr. I think he kind of do the same thing Singed does. So that's my argument.
Yeah, you can play Camille as well, or like Fiora, stuff like that. But like they don't really like playing against Singed. It's just annoying. Like Alawi is not bad. They're gonna go Victor. Okay, I do like that they're blind picking. That's a pretty safe scaling mage. It's not the normal pairing you see with like it's not Ahri Vi, not Talia Vi, but Gravity Well still like can layer CC very well with the cease and desist. It gives you that time to get the stun off actually during the Vi ultimate, so it actually layers itself. But we'll see what they counterpick mid here. I would say Nico if it wasn't disabled, but it is. They could go Karma mid. They could go Karma mid if they want to. I don't know if they are willing to do so, but I do think it's pretty good. They are going to go Olaf, which I think is pretty good here, actually.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that does kind of change the matchup a little bit. We know that Dorado's top laner can be very aggressive, as we saw in the previous game. Now, playing into the Olaf is going to be kind of a nightmare if you're not used to playing against that champion. We've seen Adam do it in the LEC. We saw Oscarian do it. We've even seen it in the LCS a couple of times as well. So it's just one of those niche picks that also not quite to the severity that Singe does, but it changes how it is. I don't like LeBlanc into Victor. Okay, never mind. they slapped the Trundle down. Okay.
That's so funny. I just say I like LeBlanc here, and then they just lock it in like they're just waiting for you to tell them what to pick or something.
All right. I'll get to why I don't like LeBlanc into Victor that much. It's just in the long run, Victor is better. But anyways, Cilantro, go ahead and let us know your thoughts on this draft.
Okay. So I have a couple of biases here. I like Trundle and Victor. I think Victor's one of my favorite champions in League of Legends.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards that. You know, I like Jay-Z's comp. I just like all the champions in Jay-Z's comp.
Yeah.
To be honest. But I think that Dorado Gaming might have better advantage here. I think that the Varus Nautilus is going to be. I mean, we saw what the Varus did last game. I don't expect it to not be replicated, so it's probably going to happen again. Later into the game, I've seen a LeBlanc be absolutely horrible to play against if she can get scaling. And I think that if they play to their mid lane strengths properly, then Dorado Gaming can just not let the Victor play the game. If the LeBlanc can get ahead. And then what I think is really going to come down to is how this top lane plays out for this game, because both extremely aggressive laners, both really good at split pushing. Mm-hmm. So if the Olaf can shut down Trundle early, we're going to see a lot of towers fall on the side of Jay-Z. If the Trundle can shut down the Olaf early, now you're Dorado and you have to figure out how you're going to stop somebody from one-tapping your tower every 2 seconds. I mean, we saw a Trundle last week. We saw a Trundle last week.
Press Q on a Nexus tower and the thing's dead twice. It's it's a bit unreal. I do kind of agree with you though. Like both of these comps are very good in their own ways. I like JT's comp a lot better than I did last game. I did like what they were going with, but they didn't really have an early game bridge champion to help deal with this Varus Ashe, assuming they're going to get a lead in that bot lane, which they did end up getting one larger than you'd expect, but still that's how you'd expect the lane to go. You'd expect Varus Ashe to win. Now, I don't think Varus Nautilus will be nearly as oppressive as Varus Ashe or something like that, because you're not playing double 80 carry and you can't just pressure them as hard. However, you do still have massive dive threat in that bot lane, especially pre-6. You want to try and get this Senna behind before that eat is available, because then that makes diving them extremely difficult, which is why I like Senna TK into Varus. If you can sustain for that early game, even if you die once, it's not the end of the world. You're still playing a very strong scaling 80 carry. And Tahm Kench is always useful with his ultimate against one-shot champions like Viego, LeBlanc, and Varus. And also, like, the Trundle answer to Olaf is a really creative one. It's not one that is, like, obvious necessarily, but it's the kind of champion that forces Olaf to stay top. Otherwise, they lose their entire base, or stay wherever the Trundle is, which means Olaf can't sort of flex his lead if he gets one in these team fights that you'd want him to be able to do, because he's one of those champions, kind of like a Camille, where like you're going to spend most of your time in the side lane, but you do want to look to TP into team fights and be a game wrecker. And Trundle kind of stops him from doing that. Now, the reason why I like LeBlanc in this game, because it's one of the few champions that helps Viego one-shot people. I think like the premier one is Lysandra. That's the combo with Viego, but she's been a little weak recently. And into Victor, I do like the LeBlanc better, so I think that allows you to play around mid lane specifically to get this Viego ahead.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to highlight the mid lane matchup because I do play a lot of LeBlanc myself.
Yeah.
I like the matchup early game because it's really easy to harass the Victor because, again, he's one of those immobile mages. You are definitely not. The issue comes later part of the game when it's kind of expected and knowing what you're going to be doing. So those flank angles become a lot harder, and you could potentially just get one shot before something even starts, because at this point Victor is, 3-4 items and can't absolutely blow you up if you don't build correctly into him. Right. So hoping to maybe see Merc Treads come out of the LeBlanc. I don't typically like it, but in this case of a Victor and a Tahm Kench, I think it's probably a little necessary. Oh, and Senna as well. Yeah. So a little bit of Merc tries to kind of will go a long way in this game for the side of Dorado, and we have finished draft, so let's kind of swing it back to Drake Souls. So Mr. Dragon Pit of Shame for the first time this year.
Well, I mean, everyone knows my strategy at this point, at least if you watched us last split as well. I just pick whatever soul the last game was, and I'm right like half the time at least. So I'm gonna go with Cloud Soul.
Taking it from DBZ, can't pick it this time.
Yep.
Can't get the dub. All right, go for it, Cilantro.
Looking at both these compositions and how last game went out, I have a feeling we're due for a Chemtech soul. No Chemtech Dragon on the map just yet. I feel like, you got Bilgewater, Tom Kench, he's just gonna spawn the little swamp with the Nautilus as well. I just feeling it's a Chemtech vibe.
I kind of went Hextech this game, personally. Yeah. I can see a lot of really dirty things.
Crazy, yeah.
I was going to be either Hextech or Infernal, but Hextech sounds just a lot better in my head. That'll do it for us. It's time for Spectale. We'll be right back in about 2.5, 3 minutes for some Game 2 magic. Don't go anywhere. Jazz hands.
Well. We are on the rift now, and we are ready to get out into the game. And it is a mountain show as a mountain dragon as the first dragon.
They're actually 5-manning on opposite sides of the map. We all can't be Fnatic and Mad Lions Koi, so good luck next time.
Well, we all can be Fnatic and Mad if you know.
I mean, yeah, we can't all lose to G2 esports, but there's a 5-stack. I mean, they're 5-stacking assuming it's an invade, which is obvious that they're going to invade given their composition. This will be an on-hit Varus this game, which I do like.
Nice.
Because we're not playing double range bot lane and you're not assuming you're going to slam as hard, you do want the better scaling build in this game, seeing as you are once again going to be slapping front line. But you're gonna think that the game will be a little bit closer for a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I do like that a lot better. And then yeah, they are now resetting. They do get a deep ward around red buff. I'm not a huge fan of that particular ward location. It's very good at like 2 minutes 30 for the top laner to drop that ward in that bush because no one ever clears it, and you can just put a pink in there and it'll sit there for 12 minutes until the jungler just randomly right clicks through that bush and you have permanent vision on whenever they're on Krugs. But they do ward that bush and they will spot Shadeslayer on this red buff. So we'll see if we get any vertical jungle action or if Crimson King's gonna look for the 1v1. He will win actually.
Here comes Holy Leaf too. Forced to flash Shadeslayer though.
That's really bad for him.
Yeah, that sets him so behind.
I should go blue straight into enemy red.
I definitely 100% agree. Just right now, just ignore your dropping go right to red buff. But we'll take the safer path. Senna did not go to lane, but this is a fasting Senna. We're back to that whole shindig as Tom Kench will be the one farming. She will just be gathering up souls and poking and being just annoying, just as a Senna would. Now, looks like Vi's going to clear her whole side of the jungle. I think expecting Viego to maybe go back, which is not entirely likely. He doesn't have flash, so invading at this moment would be kind of risky. And I'm going to actually pause. There's a hook in the bot lane. It's just as the flash. Okay.
Well, his name is Hooking Good.
If I went for the invade, she could be here right now. It would be so crazy. Okay, if I went red from blue, red Krugs bot lane, or even just blue red into bot gank, then it's a double kill on my screen right now. Instead opting for the full clear. They do see her on Raptors with that ward that is right there.
Yeah, no, but Saruman should just get out of here. And Saruman did bring Electrocute into this matchup, which I 100% will advocate for every single time. LeBlanc's best rune is and always will be Electrocute, unless you're playing ARAM, then it's Dark Harvest, but not the point. So, being able to get those really extended damage trades, especially trying to pop burst someone, Electrocute sometimes is make or break in some of these later game fights. So, looking forward to seeing how much damage that Saruman will be able to do. Not too much going on anywhere on the map. I am shocked that EOS didn't go for that invade. Maybe didn't feel confident in the push of his bot lane to go for that play. Maybe punish the fact that he didn't punish it, I guess, is okay. They're up, like barely something gold, and for a hot second things froze for a second. But we good. DK. Yeah, what that guy said, and not really too much going on in the gold department. So, we're just kind of chilling right now, waiting for something to happen around the map. Viego did get the scuttle. Vi got the other one on top. Actually, there was a hook that hit onto Asset, going in. Actually, taking the abyssal voyage, goes for the in and dies to the Varus. Interesting.
That was a very interesting TK moment there, like going in, being a little catfish, but sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. But Glacial once again having first blood this game around.
Yeah, I think he thought they had more damage than they did, and he thought the exhaust would do more than it did. Because Glacial has Ghost not cleanse, so he can't cleanse off the exhaust. So I think he just thought that the exhaust would make him live long enough for Jizik to get a kill onto Glacial, because he was decently low. We'll offer the Vamp Scepter early. Should be building into that Bork first.
Yep.
But yeah, that'll be a little bit rough for them because they don't have a whole lot of pushing power with Senna TK. That is one of the downsides to playing this lane against Varus, is you're almost always going to be under your tower until they reset. Then you can finally build a push. We'll see if they get punished on this push out. They shouldn't, because Shadeslayer is top lane. Could look for a gank potentially up there because Crimson King is pushed. Does have a ward in the river though.
So yeah, definitely won't be spotted. I am curious who is going to prioritize the grubs this game. Last game it was Yeah, I was gonna say it was Shadeslayer last game. Probably will be once again, especially if this Olaf kind of keeps doing Olaf things up there and pushing this lane forward. Same, LeBlanc has been getting pressure just off damage alone, and we're fighting up here actually, and we're gonna go for this. Olaf does have the flash.
It's very close. I think Crimson King, like he wanted to, but he can't fully commit for that because he knows how close it is to 6.
Solomon already forced to use the flash. Able to get out this clone. And here comes Shadeslayer.
Oh, it didn't hit him.
A little bit of peel. Eo's trying to get the kill. Maybe SM will fight it. He will on the Tahm Kench. Which, actually, did you know that Tahm Kench is not a catfish?
Yeah. What?
According to... So there was a patch in Season 13 that released that in the patch notes, they said that under Tahm Kench, they said the frog is not in a state that we want him to be at yet. So Tahm Kench is a frog.
You unbench the Kench, uncloak the Froak, uninhibit the Ribbit.
Inhibit the Ribbit. Jeez. I have not heard that one. Please don't be a Hex Drake. Please don't be a Hex Drake. Please don't be a Hex Drake. Please don't be a Hex Drake.
It's a cloud! I'm
so
still alive. One more.
So
it could be Chemtech. I can have my first soul win of the year.
I do like that they went Drake. They have the bot push forward and bot prio. They don't have top prio and didn't. And Miltre was on base timer as well as Shadeslayer was pathing down, especially after that mid play. So giving the first 3 grubs for the Drake trade is very much worth it for them, given the bot lane lead. I would like to see them potentially look to get something done in this bot lane. But the roam earlier from Essa was actually a very good timer as well. Because Jizik is never at risk of dying there unless he just completely like runs at them for no reason, but he's not gonna do that. So yeah, a really good roam timer there to get a kill. Unfortunately, he's the one that gets it. You would have liked to see it go into Victor, but just securing the kill is as much as you can ask.
I mean, especially with how tanky he's gonna be. Actually, Hook will land first.
It's on the Tahm Kench, though. Esset's going back in once again onto Glacial, and it's because he sees Eos in the area.
Oh, hit that.
And then it's going to force the flash out of Hooking Good and just going to go back to the tower there. No mana on Glacial means you really can't really fight that, though.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty fair.
I mean, no damage yet.
Yeah, I mean, Senna's not gonna have damage for the next like at least 15 minutes, if I'm being completely honest.
It'll be a while, yeah, because she went for Swifties first, so she won't have like even SL rated Dirk for the next little while. It's 1k, not 1100, but still. I would expect the like support Senna build where it's Umbral Glaive, Bloodsong into Yomu's Ghostblade,
right,
and then Rapid Fire Cannon. That's like probably what he's gonna be building. Yeah, his 800 gold, so still needs another 200 gold for that Dirk. Is not as behind as you'd think.
Oh wait, it's getting ulted on and had the flash actually.
Yeah, she dies for the flash.
Yeah, okay.
Sucks because if the chains land, she will die still.
Oh, what's going on up here? Oh, all right.
Yeah, speaking of dying,
comes in. Now you have a Trundle of your own. And this is looking like a bot side gank here. Yeah, I didn't like it either. Even with the cease and desist online, it's just too much peel with the Nautilus.
Okay.
They're get a lot top lane.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, they didn't get the grubs, but that doesn't matter because they're just gonna get at least a plate or maybe 2. I think they will maybe try to go for the second plate, but Trundle will be back in time. In this process, LeBlanc full kill pressure. I will admit right now. Once the second his ultimate is up, if Holly does not back up, most likely will 100% die. Now, just with the prio that Milt
he also flashed, by the way.
Oh, he did. Wow. Wait, what's going on here? Eos might be dead here. He's getting caught out. And imagine that, right as I said, Victor dies as well. So 2 kills going across depth to Dorado Gaming. Unfortunately, Holly most likely just took a bad trade at the time, knowing that didn't have flash. And then Vi was just unfortunately caught out in the jungle.
There's a lot for that, actually.
Yep.
That's a plate mid, tempo mid as well. You lose like any semblance of potential bot lane vision, and then that freeze now happens because Vi's dead. And your bot lane has to take a reset. So it's a 30-ish CS lead in bot lane. I mean, you'd expect the Bears to be ahead of CS and TK, but not necessarily this much. I think part of it is due to the roam timing, obviously. But that's going to snowball into if it continues to go this way, especially when LeBlanc is 30 or 25 CS ahead of Victor and a kill. It's already 500 gold lead in mid lane off of mostly just CS and that kill that just happened. And then bot lane now, what was a 200 gold lead is now 1k almost. Because this freeze is going to compound that as well, since they're so late to getting back down here in the bot lane. Looks like they are going to try and prioritize getting the scuttle down before this Drake spawns in about 1:10.
Yeah. Is a Cloud Drake, as we noted. A Blanc going over the wall almost procced Electrocute. One more auto would have procced that. Would have been a pretty decent chunk of damage. Went for the Pen Boots first. I'm assuming that it's going to be a Storm Razor first. You could really go either Ludens or Storm Surge. Excuse me. Well, that was actually really close. Just at this point, you're really in dangerous territory the second she gets that Storm Surge. You just have to assume that it could go off at any point after her trades. It makes her so much stronger with that Magic Pen, which, by the way, the first component, the Hex Tech, 65 flat damage at all levels when taxed. So, just in case anyone forgot from last week, it didn't.
King is going to be up a lot of CS.
Yeah, he is actually. Oh my god! Absolutely.
Dubstep Ignite.
One shot. Yeah, that's what that was.
Away.
That was 100% a dubstep Ignite. We got fighting in the bot lane as well as Varus is going to be exhausted.
That's a cease and desist onto Glacial. They want to kill him, but he's got Ghost Flash, and it's Exit trying to go in. He's going to end up living. Hooking Guard going to trade up his life. That actually, he almost landed the hook onto the tower as he got eaten. That would have been absolutely hilarious to see Esset just got pulled to the tower.
Happen? Is that
I don't know if that can even happen, but I'm assuming it can.
I think that's how that works. It might be how that works, but I don't think it is.
It's crazy if it does happen, though. It would be crazy if it did happen.
I hope it does, because that'd be hilarious.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see it, though.
That'll give them
Drake,
we
do get to see a Dragon started up from JSC off that bot side gank.
Yeah. I mean, might as well. It's a free Drake. Their bot lane obviously died. Well, I mean, Varus did not, but Nautilus did. So it's pretty much a free reset that gives you the push advantage anyways. They will lose some minions to it. Not too many by the looks of it from here.
So
yeah, she is. And I was just going to say she is strong. And it's a Chemtech Drake.
Oh.
Nice.
You should guess Chemtech more often, because every time you
have right.
Every time you've guessed Chemtech, you've been right.
Honestly, yeah. That is 100% true, but this 1v1 here in the top side, they shouldn't just be smacking each other. Trundle does have some of the most of the components of Triforce already. I'm definitely 100% assuming it is Triforce first. That's what we saw last week. It was like Triforce into Hullbreaker into Black Cleaver, and then it was just, I'm gonna break and eat everything.
Yeah, I press Q and deal 5,000 damage to his tower.
Oh my god, that LeBlanc damage.
Nice double chain. Yeah, she can't quite commit for that because she doesn't know where Vi is, and if Vi is nearby, Saruman does die there, even though he's full HP. If a cease and desist comes flying over the wall, he's definitely dead.
He's dead in a few seconds here, flashes up, but we're fighting here in the top
dead in a few seconds.
Yep, alright, Crimson King just goes ahead and dies because Viego exists, and I hate that champion a lot, but Saruman should get out here.
He has to gank this just so he can hopefully get Holy Leaf. This wave to push out, although he could just base in TP, but you don't want him to use his TP for that. But he might just have to here. Meanwhile, top lane, they should get at least this plate, probably not the whole tower.
Might get the whole thing.
they might, since they do have the Void Grub's burn damage, and Trundle's not up for another 5 seconds since TP should not use it. Meanwhile, Glacial's getting bullied down there. And yeah, there's the whole tower down.
Wow.
It's a lot of gold injected onto this Olaf and Viego.
Yeah, 4,000 gold.
It's on 2.2k.
Yeah, there it is. That should be a fully completed item. Actually, looks like the milk is going to stay up there. Viego going to go back to the jungle. Only has 1,000 gold in pocket at the moment, and we're slowly accruing that gold lead that we know Dorado can do. They're almost at that breaking point, which I think will come actually at this next Drake. Unironically, I 100%.
They should go Herald actually first. It spawns sooner. It's in like 15 seconds, I think.
Yeah. I meant like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
He still hasn't based it. I think he's sitting on like 2k gold now after that kill. Yeah, he's like 1.7k.
16. Wow, that's actually pretty insane.
And he's just chilling, one shot. I mean, LeBlanc is so broken. First of all, this champ is insane. But yeah, like you meant, like early game, this matchup is great, and if LeBlanc gets that first kill, which she did, on top of having the CS lead, it's just so hard to play the victor in this matchup. They will go for Herald like I thought they might with this absolutely monstrous mid wave prio that they have, and just mid lane lead that they have. Even though Saruman doesn't have TP or like he's not there, Holy Leaf just died and they can't contest because Eos is on it back, so it's a free Herald. They should take this potentially bot lane since mid lane tower is already so low, so they get a little bit more value off of the Herald charge, unless they want to look to get this Olaf even further ahead and grab that top lane tier 2. Olaf does go for Ravenous Hydra first item, but he will just drop it mid to just guarantee this mid lane tower.
Might as well.
I think it would have been dead anyways, but yeah.
I mean, it
just dies to a charge.
Yeah, it's in this instance, it's to open up the map for LeBlanc.
Oh my god, they're actually flashing on the Holy Leaf. This man's not having fun on the Victor. They're gonna get another charge off too.
Wow. That is a champion.
Estet, maybe looking for some type of angle. Stun up the one that Crimson King off of the stolen clone on Shadeslayer. That's going to probably deny that entire push. Like the roam down from the Trundle, maybe trying to find something, but it really doesn't feel like there's
what they're doing.
Angle.
Oh, this is such a good bot dive. It's so good. I was going to say they should definitely look to dive bot lane.
Oh,
you are not going to have fun here. You're going to get rid of it. That's a TP. That one's going to be.
It
could be Holy Leaf coming in. Yep, it will be him, but you might just die again.
Holy Leaf,
honestly. He's just going straight on the
kill him.
They're gonna opt not to though because Shade.
Interesting. Okay.
They're playing it safe. They're playing it safe, all right?
To be fair, it would have been worth it anyways. Holy Leaf has no flash, has no ultimate. It would have been actually a free kill.
Yeah, you just Nautilus ultimate, he just dies.
Yeah, that would have
genuinely, you just Shane CC him with Nautilus ult, hook, Viego stun, and he will just get one shot, even though you are that low. Like, I get not wanting to go for it. You have a lot of gold. You are like low HP. Also, Magi's the fancy purple book, purple and pink book now from Saruman has 9 stacks on it. Did finish the Ludens on his previous base, and there is the Umbral Blood Song from Senna that I thought they were gonna go. This is a Heartsteel Tom Kench. We know my feelings on that item. I think it's horrible.
I agree.
In any game mode that's not named ARAM and URF, I don't think it's very good.
I built Heartsteel on everything in ARAM.
Exactly. You just because it's fun and you get a funny bonk noise and you get like a bunch of HP. But in SR, especially when behind, it's not a great item. I think they can just look to play for rules.
Oh!
And you're disgusting! Absolutely able to find a kill on Statistic there. S8, you're not going to live for much long. The piercing arrow is going to end up getting flashed away, so he actually will be able to live. But they're going for the ever-loved Chem Tech Dragon now. They're going to be able to pick up 3 of those. That's not going to be fun to play into.
Yeah, especially when you're playing like Viego, Olaf, who actually make great use out of Chemtech Soul. Some of the few champions that do. I would like to see them play with his bot lanes here too. Olaf getting absolutely 16-manned in top lane. The Avengers up there to grab a kill there. But won't do too much because he didn't even have a bounty. Olaf is very killable, seeing as he doesn't have a whole lot of... yeah, that guy's absolutely one-shot. His entire bloodline just got annihilated there.
Saruman is coming for your souls, your children, your grandchildren, and all of your ancestors. Fine. Will he be able to?
Will not. No flash either. Oh, give that to Jizak there. I think that one should have been
I would be mauling if I was Senna. I'd be absolutely mauling. That will be the top lane tier 1 finally taken down because it is a Trundle. Should be able to get a little bit more, but they will get this bot lane tier 2 as a consequence. No pressure on them there. So that's one of the first tier 2s off the map. Gold lead, despite giving over a massive shutdown, is still 5k-ish, 4,500 in favor of Dorado Gaming, and a lot of that is still in this mid lane. We do have a pause.
All right.
No! Tech pauses,
do we know? Yeah, NA League of Legends. Not allowed to have a clean game. But I do want to point out that I think we kind of alluded to it given the drafts, but this game is a lot slower than the last game. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're not playing like a double-ranged hard shove under your entire Nexus bot lane, and you're playing more towards that scaling angle for this Varus. Now, don't get me wrong, they're still very fed. Oh yeah, Glacial DC, that's why they paused. He is back now. And is opting for that Ginsu's Rageblade second item, which is what he should be doing. But that kill, not only does it give a bounty over, unfortunately, to the Tom Kench, however, still a bounty nonetheless, it does take away a lot of stacks from Saruman's Magi's. He had 17 before that death, now has 7.
Ended up dying there again, losing half. In my opinion, at that point, if you have your stacks and lose them, sell the book, buy something else. That's generally my mantra.
I mean, he still has enough for it to be valuable. I think like if you have 10 or more, you don't sell it. Obviously he has 7, but he just died, so I think it's fine. If you die and then you go to like 3 stacks or like 2 stacks or 0, like just sell the book.
I agree. Yeah, and we've seen a lot of useless Magi's in our time, and it's been incredibly funny. But Saruman, knowing very clearly how to pilot this champion, I mean, I was about to say what's going on there. Will not land the chain on the Trundle, but at this point, Saruman, these are plays that I love seeing on LeBlanc players. That pure one-shot threat. Oh, Crimson King's dead. All right. He's actually just going to get CC'd up and chained, and then, QW and die.
Yeah, he has no MR, gets absolutely one-shot by LeBlanc. She's going to be doing a lot of damage on these charts. That will be the tier 2 as well, as nobody is up there. Meanwhile, Hollyleaf getting ran at with the Ragnarok. He will die as well. Doesn't do any damage.
One more X is all it takes.
He doesn't even need to just
auto him.
All right, well, that's that, I guess, as I thought we were actually going to have some continued fighting on the map. The next objective, that is the major objective, is Baron in the next 24 seconds. I imagine we'll just reset a little bit of the gold off those 2 plays, get some more item components or more items, depending on how close you are. Varus, I think, is actually going to stay to finish this Rage Blade. Should almost have the gold for it. It's like, what, 7 something? Yeah, he has the gold for it right now.
Watch LeBlanc.
It goes back. I see her right now, and they don't see her. Anyone who steps in that general direction is absolutely going to get annihilated. Like, just Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, rip your heart out.
I'm looking at Jizik. I'm looking at Jizik's H
bar
right now.
What was that?
Misinput? It was a misinput.
I don't think so. We're playing for content.
He's having
yes, I agree.
There's a one-shot angle on my screen right now.
Oh yeah, I'm
looking
dead at Jizik's. I'm looking dead at Jizik's health bar, and I'm going to watch it evaporate.
Yeah.
No, okay,
it was a misinput.
Okay, it was lag. Okay, it was lag.
I think his game froze, and he thought he was getting engaged on, so he flashed. I've done that before.
Yeah.
Where, like, my game's frozen and I'm like at their tower and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if I'm dying, so I'll just like flash away and then I'll reconnect and they recalled and I just flashed for no reason. I think that's kind of what happened to him because he did DC earlier, which was the previous pause, was because he had a disconnect issue. Hopefully he doesn't have any further issues. But now that we have he has reconnected, so hopefully we'll get back in here in a second. There is an angle now, though, in this pause for JSZ to find Ondus Armon and make him sell that Magi's and waste a bit of that gold lead and bring it technically closer. Because they are 4 of them in this topside jungle. No one really is nearby to him. He is still a LeBlanc with Flash. So he's not the easiest target to kill, but you do have a Vialt. You have Tom Kenshi. You can layer the CC if done correctly, but still not an easy kill by any means.
No, absolutely 100%. I mean, she's one of the more slippery champions in the game, as we know. Double distortion, flash, all that available to her to be able to just get over this wall. But I think if EOS can get in a range, should be able to. I want to say they'll easily clean her up, but Saruman's done some pretty gross things on this champion this game, so I'm not keeping my hopes up. And Nautilus can make the turn, so hooking turn can like come over and help her kind of do whatever. Ultimate is available.
Has flash,
yeah. So like this play could hilariously go either way. I think, especially if Varus and Viego decide to kind of like shimmy on over, because they might be aware on the side of Dorado, like in the general direction of where everyone is, knowing they're in that red quadrant. I wouldn't imagine that too much would go on once we unpause here.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is he has reconnected again. I think he potentially reset his router, which is why we were still in or reset his PC, one of the two, reset something, which is why we were in pause for a couple minutes longer. I do like that Milktra is in bot lane right now because he has to be wherever Trundle is. As much as it's an 0-3 Trundle, still a Trundle. Does have 3 grubs as well, which is not the same impact as like 5 or 6, but any split pushing champion with any amount of grubs can absolutely annihilate towers, so he has to be there to match. I do also think Crimson King wins the 1v1 with ultimate, just because Milktra isn't very tanky. He has Ravenous Hydra and an Executioner's Calling and then some Steel Caps. He doesn't have like a lot of tank stats. Now the Executioners does a lot in the 1v1, but I do still think it is kind of favored towards Trundle now that he has 24th in the Vamp Scepter. However, if he does lose the 1v1, then that puts a lot of pressure on that bot lane. If either one of them loses, then that's a lot of pressure now down there, and the other team should be able to cross map with the Baron, seeing as Drake is not up for 2 minutes. But yeah, that's really what they should be looking for. I do want to see Saruman just kind of send it here in top jungle and have them unironically, I want to see him just absolutely send it so they force a fight topside, which puts a lot of pressure on Crimson King in the bot lane to do something and potentially like make a misplay. And they should win the 4v4 given the wallet differential that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And then they can turn that into a Baron, which then puts even more pressure on that bot lane. They can get both of the last couple tier 2s on the map. But there's a lot of angles for Dorado given the current game state.
Absolutely. So we're still paused at the moment, you know.
Yep.
We can pretty much deduce that it is internet connection issues.
Yeah.
From here, I mean, it's just so hard to kind of like. It's kind of so hard to know like what. Or we can talk all day about what they can do, but it's all about what it's. We just kind of have to get in the heads of JSC and kind of assume what we think that they'll know what to do, if that makes any sense. In this instance, I imagine with the way that ESET is pathing, I think that collapse onto Saruman, like you said, is going to happen. Now this could completely make or break the game, I think, especially if Shadeslayer, Glacial, and Hooking Good decide to make that rotation back over, because Varus has the Chains of Corruption available, so this could get extremely lopsided for JSC. I just it's hard to know. It's hard to know.
It's a tough kill to get because he has flash, right? So if AS uses the cease and desist too early, then Saruman just distortions over the wall.
Yep.
ESET can't get there in time to use the Abyssal Voyage to layer that CC. Holyleaf is way too far back to even like think about using the gravity field to layer that, and then he can just flash back over the wall, or even just distortion back over the wall, depending on where ESET uses his Abyssal Voyage. If he uses it on the bottom of the distortion, predicting that, then he can flash back over the pit, or even just one-shot the Vi, because I don't think he loses that 1v1, and then look to one-shot Jizik and Holyleaf, because if either one of them dies, that's all of their damage gone. Like, realistically, like, Jizik is most of their damage. Now, Vi always does damage as a champion.
Yeah.
But her main purpose is for layered CC and 2 CC carries. I honestly think, like, the better play for them is to just try and force it downwards away from Saruman, because he is most of their gold lead, and try and kill Glacial. Now, that's easier said than done, because the Shadeslayer and Hooking Good are there. And it is a 4v4 if you do that play, but I just think Saruman's way too hard to kill, even with the cease and desist, because you don't have Chaos Storm either from Victor, which is a lot of one-shot potential gone.
Right, definitely. Well, Darter and I have been yapping for a hot second. Cilantro, what is your thought on the state of the game right now at this very moment?
My thought is I'm going to buy Glacial a new PC.
Get him a new router. Get him a new PC.
Get into the game. My also thoughts are Taco Bell did not give me my straw, and
that's horrific.
Triggering the hell out of me.
They did what?
We're 20 minutes in. It's about a 6K gold lead to Dragons. This is really favoring. I mean, how in the hell are you going to shut down this LeBlanc? I mean,
it's hard.
You have nothing in the top side. You have nothing in the mid lane. It's just a slaughter fest. Like, they've looked at this Victor and were like, hee ha.
Yep.
The game is being unpaused.
They're attempting to, at the very least.
Yeah,
like they have killed this LeBlanc twice. Now it's mostly because he's kind of feeling himself and went in a little too hard, but so he's killable. It's just not easy. And then we are back. We will probably get the catch-up pause as well, because Riot Spectator always works as intended.
We're gonna be paused for 2 minutes.
Yeah, they will opt for just taking the red buff and running away, which I think is the smartest decision they have to make, because LeBlanc is not one-shottable. I like that he is going top lane, though, to put some pressure there. And the other members will just reset, get their gold onto the map. You mentioned it earlier, the Ginsu's Rage Blade, but also Sundered Sky now finished for Shadeslayer. I would like to see them try to use some side lane pressure to get this Baron off the map. Or what they can do is kind of twiddle their thumbs until a minute 20 now. Glacial has DC'd once again. I'm curious to see if they're just going to play it, because both teams do have 15 minutes of pause time.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if we could bring up the rules upon that?
Right, yeah, you have 15 minutes of pause time. They've used 10 of them. So they might just try to play it 4v5 for a little bit, hoping that it finishes. That guy's dead. Does get the tower, though. No help for him, although there's help. There's Shadeslayer. Glacial is back in the game, which is nice. That will make this way easier for them, because they can just put Miltra down here in the bot lane. They are invading this blue buff, which they will take very easily. They are dropping a lot of mid push here, though. Holly in the top lane has TP, can look to go down here, but they shouldn't contest. They can potentially look to try and one-shot Baron across the map. No, there is vision on there. Was a blue trinket just dropped. They do see them. It has not been started yet. They will clear the ward first, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're pinging it.
They're not going to start it. They don't have damage for it. I'm not surprised. They can just run it down mid, which they will. This tower should all be all but dead.
I was gonna say, when the moment they took out that blue trinket, that kind of gave them the cue, like, okay, we can kind of get advantages here in mid lane, open up the tier 2. Also, while Olaf did get pressure on the bot side as well, of top lane pushing against them, unfortunately, but they can still pressure this mid lane tower a little bit. All right. Yeah, I think that's what here exit objective as you guys call it. Got the tier 2 exit objective, get the Drake. Now, I don't think JSE will contest this.
They're being so cocky doing this.
Yeah.
Saruman's looking at one-shot Senna walking to Drake. There's a TP now top lane. Only TP available is Milktra. He is basing before TPing. So that tower might die. It shouldn't. Because the wave's not there yet. Yeah, so it won't die, I don't think, before he gets there. Although he's actually not TPing, so it might die. Yeah, it's still a Trundle. It doesn't matter that he's 0-4. He's still playing Trundle.
He's gonna die for it too. He might die for trying.
I don't think he cares if he dies. That's 800 gold in his pocket right there.
It's true. Although he might actually just turn on the milk, draw the pillar. You're going to go CC immune, force the flash too as the Ragnarok. And here comes Sauerman, the absolute
oh my god,
AP assassin.
Yeah, no MR. That'll be Baron, I would imagine. As Trundle is, despite him being 0-4, I mean, we saw how much he did in that fight. That's no flash Olaf.
And they saw Vi.
Yeah, they saw Vi in their wards they have in the bot jungle, so this Drake is more than free. I'd say it's even wholesale. They might get a 2-for-1 deal on it. And they honestly, they should just take this top lane, have Milktra go mid, or Saruman go mid, either one of their solo laners. They can both easily pressure this and hold off that tower. Again, last tier 2 is top lane, or they can do the 4-1, just have Milktra in top lane, easily pressure, and then just try to go for 2 inhibs on bot side like they did last game. I think either one works. With their gold lead, I think it's probably best to put their to just play for double inhibs, because you can end on 2. You don't need 3 with how fed you are.
Yeah, no, 100%. Though, unfortunately, this does put JSE in a very precarious position, as they are now about 5,000 gold behind. I thought that was way more for some reason. Interesting.
Right, it feels like it is, but it's not.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just lopsided to the solo laners, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's why.
It's less.
Okay. So, virtually everywhere else, it's about what we're expecting. The top lane is arguably kind of close.
I mean, Crimson King has gotten like 1,500 gold off towers in the last 2 minutes. So that gold lead has completely evaporated. Trundle does win 1-1. Now Milktra doesn't have flash, so as soon as his ult's back up, which it is, he has Ghost. He could look for that solo kill, however. Gonna fight her in the mid lane.
Found Asset. That's a good dredge line. They're gonna be able to chunk down I'm the frog, not catfish, even though you know. And
that's propaganda. He's a catfish.
I agree. I'm gonna call him a catfish. All of Riot. I don't know what Riot is on.
Yeah.
Some made it, but the community is calling him a catfish. But now they've got the Baron buff, and now they have the numbers with Crimson King forced to respond to Milktra on the top side. Sauerman pushing the bot lane in as well. Yeah. They're gonna get at least 1 inhibitor here somewhere. Maybe trying to find an angle to engage. They're gonna be able to stun up King, God, and that's actually a really good pushback.
Interesting, yeah. Landing some pretty good CC on.
That's what they should have done last game. That's exactly how you defend against a 1-3-1 Baron push, where you just play to the 3 lane. If you drop one side, you're fine. Whereas if you overload to the side, you lose more because there's 3 people there trying to siege. So instead of losing what could have been 2 inhibitors had they had misplayed that, they're able to defend it really well, get a Nautilus flash as well, only lose a tower. They should not lose this inhibitor. They are having some pings. They will go for this top lane tower, much easier objective. And they should not dive this Trundle. It's a very bad idea.
I think that they want to.
They do want to. They can get this tower, though. They can siege it very easily. There's 4 of them up here. I really like this 4-1 setup. Saruman can be absolutely irritating around this bot lane inhibitor since that tower is down. But now that the top lane tier 2 is gone and they are resetting, he should also look to back off because he might be overextended here a little bit.
This is much better macro. This game from both of them. I was just going to say not just Dorado, but from JSE as well. Yep. So really, really good macro coming in for both of these teams, which is really promising, especially for the rest of this side of the bracket in this instance. So looking forward to how these 2 teams will grow as the season goes on. JSE definitely has a lot of potential. It's just I just will say, and take it how you will, it's just they're going up against one of the more like historic orgs in Risen. As I mentioned at the top of the day, they're like our 2014 and 2016 TSM basically, where they're always good, where they're pretty much always good and they're never bad. They always have.
Our last split finals for 2 Dorado teams. It was Iota versus, I forget the other one.
I think Omega. But yeah.
Yes, it was Omega. Yep.
So you get the idea. It might sound like we're glazing them, but like that's just
glaze.
That's just the history of the.
I like what JSZ are looking for, though. I
refuse to Chris Collinsworth the Risen Esports League. I refuse. JSZ win the game.
I think if that pillar went onto the Nautilus, he dies there.
Yeah. I would have liked him to commit a little bit harder, seeing as Milktra's in top lane right now. He should. Now, I really like what Shadeslayer's doing. They don't really care about this dragon. They can just end the game. Someone should go buff that bot wave. But yeah, I like that they're just running it down mid lane. Oh, their Baron's actually falling off at this point, but I don't think it really matters. They can get double inhib off this. They do have to reset, but they aren't.
They are going to get double
leaving
inhib.
3 people on this dragon. I think they should only leave Vi here. They'll lose 2 inhibs for this.
Yeah,
they could even lose more than that. The dragon's still not taken. Doesn't look like Dorado will commit too much further, but they will grab, like I said, 2 inhibitors, which is a lot. There's only 1 outer tower left, and it is an inhibitor tower top lane. Crimson King taking a ton of damage.
Oh my god, he didn't. Never mind, he died.
Yeah, on Varus. It's so broken. He is dead though because he flashed for the wall. Actually, he's fine.
Maybe not. Looking God is in the area. So Starman looking for that angle.
Here we go.
Or Holly leave. And that is going to be 1 dead catfish. Eos goes in with the cease of business, and he is instantly bursted down. The resets are hit for the Viego. The flash is not going to be able to hit onto the Vault Breaker. It doesn't matter. He's able to find Jizik anyway. And it's just Holy Leaf left standing alone in the base. Lone Victor. Very sad. Chad, but this is looking, yep. This is not looking very good. It is going to be Dorado Gaming taking the series 2-0 in some pretty dominant fashion, to say the least.
Yeah, well, their macro was better until they way overcommitted for the dragon. I understand the call there. It's obviously you don't want to give them soul, right? Because if you give them soul, there's no chance that they lose that game. Like there's zero. Like a team that has that much of a gold lead and dragon soul, they have to throw to lose at that point, especially when the base looks like it did. But they just they committed too many members to securing the Drake. And on the flip side, Dorado made a really good call to just leave it alone because they don't really care if they have soul or not because they're already so far ahead, to just run it down and just like take their base. And I don't think JSZ even considered the fact that they were just gonna drop Dragon Soul and try to end the game.
Yeah, just right. You just hit the money on the mark on that one. It is a little not surprising, I will say, but we expected this out of Dorado. We expect this out of every single Dorado team that comes through here, regardless if it's Draft, Rampage, Unstoppable, Divine. If they even have a team, I think they do have one in Divine actually.
I think so. Yeah.
It's just no matter what, we expect so much out of this organization, and we see it every time in every game that we get to see them on stream. I do think that JZ are in a promising place. Yeah. I think that they could pull off some pretty nutty and gnarly things over the course of this split, so I have a lot of faith in them. I think you just kind of hold your heads high on this one. It's like, yeah, sure, most storied Oregon in Risen, who cares? But you guys kept them at a point where you had to make them question a few of their decisions, which is actually really well and really good to see. So I'm gonna stop yapping. You got anything for the post game on that one? Do we have damage graphs actually?
Yeah, do we?
I think we'll
700,000 damage.
We'll look at Sourman's damage.
Yeah, on hit Varus as well, doing a lot. I again think it's like just it's so slept on. And then the gold lead as well ballooned at the end. It was like 5K for about I'd say like 10 minutes at least.
Something
it was
like that,
steady at 5,000 gold, and then it just ballooned to a lot more than that. I mean, it ended up being 11,000 at the end of it. Just basically off of a couple key mistakes there at the very end of the game.
Yep. Kind of wild night and a quick night. Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
I was kind of I mean, you and me were right on the 2-0 prediction. I mean,
listen here, man. I can't follow script, dude. I can't follow script, man.
Not allowed. Can't do that.
That's fair. Do we want to bring a player in? Okay. Who should we bring in?
It's a good question.
Yeah, well, we'll go ahead and talk about that during the break, so we can kind of get that going. So we'll be back in like a minute and a half. All right, where the hell are they?
Who are we?
Oh, there they are. Hey, good evening. Welcome back. Just brought in the jungler for Dorado Gaming. Welcome in. Congrats on the 2-0 victory.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so what I always do for my first question is I always ask, what were the comms like at the end of that second game in this instance? What were the emotions like? What were you guys like kind of talking about, or are you already looking into next week?
Honestly, it was pretty calm. After they made that like really big mistake at like committing to like Drake as 5, I just called, let's just take their inhibs. There's no reason to fight them when like their nexus is exposed in a sense. So yeah, it was really calm, and we were just happy about the win since last week, we played against Billy Book Club. They did turn out to be Smurfs, but they definitely hurt our egos a bit.
Yeah.
So getting this win was really important for our team.
I like it. Nice. Starter?
Sure, yeah. So you played a very different style in both games. Obviously, first game a little bit more supportive with the Vi pick, and then in game 2 playing Viego. You as a jungler and also for the team, what is your favorite style to play, and what do you think works best for you guys as a team?
Yeah, sure. So me personally in solo queue, you'll find me to be more of a farming jungler. I like Nocturne, I like Brand, I like these champions that like have really high farm and high tempo. However, in competitive, my team is actually super aggressive in lanes, so it wouldn't be conducive for me to play those kind of champions when all my teammates want to just kill their enemy. So I have been slowly been adapting to playing more supportive champs, Vi, Xin Zhao, these kind of things to enable my teammates to play better. And yeah, that's sort of how we play.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. So mine's kind of a two-parter. First off, Shade, how long have you been with Dorado?
It's been really recent. So I actually took a 3-year break from League of Legends to start work and start my master's.
Oh, congrats.
Nice.
Finished that, and then I came back from that break, and then someone who I'd played with previously on another org reached out to me and was like, "Oh my God, you're back? Dude, join Dorado." And I was like kind of hesitant because, I'd been gone for 3 years. I didn't think I really had it in me to like grind up and figure that out. But by end of last split, I was able to hit D4, and I was like, you know what? Let's just give this a shot. So that's how I ended up on Dorado. So I'm very new, really new.
I like it.
What would you say, Darter and DBZ, they've been talking this org all day, even before we started the stream. Yeah. What is it that attributes to Dorado's success, in your opinion?
I would say it's mainly our owner, Zol. He really, whips us into shape. He really cares about our success, and it shows. And everyone really wants to win on behalf of his like passion. And that passion also like spreads out like to the rest of us as well. So
My
I
goat.
would say it's mainly Zol, to be honest.
Honestly sounds like a great competitive environment to be in. Well, congratulations on your win today and on obviously your life achievements as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
All right. I do believe I'm actually gonna curiously look at who you're playing next week. So next week you guys are playing PhD Freaks. Oh, Freak Despisers. That looks like as of this moment they are 0-1. So it does, So, but how are you feeling going into next week's matchup?
Yeah. So we kind of treat every opponent the same. We always do try to prepare as much as we can. I think we'll come in there a lot calmer compared to this week since we got our win, and we'll just come in there, play our game, and beat them soundly.
Okay. I love it. I love it, man. Well, congrats on the win tonight. You can go ahead, go keep celebrating with your team. Good luck next week, and we expect to see you in playoffs. So see you around that time.
Yep. See you then.
All right. Nice. All right, fellas. So next week we are going to be streaming.
You're trying to look for it's PSE versus PDA, which is
Pride
Stalker Esports versus Party Dads. Now, already
Party Dads to win.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, like, already just off the name, like, I'm saying
with a name like that, I don't know if I can predict against them.
That's right. Right. Now, knowing some of the guys on Pride Stalker Esports, I've played against some of them and I've seen them. They are fairly solid players all around. So they do look like a pretty strong team, but with a name like Party Dad, it's kind of hard to root against them.
I better see some Gragas locked in with a name like Party Dads.
Gragas, Scion, Malphite, or Urgot.
Yeah.
Just 5 tanks. Just lock 5 tanks.
Yeah, just 5 like Giga Chad tank champs and just like walk at people, and that's what I want to see.
Oh yeah.
Love it. That's what I'll be looking forward to seeing next week. But I guess that'll do it for us. I'm assuming Risen 2 is going on right now, so we might head over there for a little bit. Or we could do what the Beeb suggested, and we could raid BCT because that's going on right now.
Right, Tarek.
No, we're down 0-1. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
As someone who's not a fan of 100 Thieves, we should go to BCT.
Shut up.
All right, that'll do it for us here at Risen Unstoppable. It has been me, DBZ Freak 2, Charter Wolf, and Cilantro on the end with the play-by-play. Love you, these two bastards. They're awesome. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Drink water. Till next time.